Hello and welcome to Vienne. After a long transatlantic journey, we've made it to the middle of the French countryside outside of Lyon, which is where one of France's best jazz festivals is located. Over the next 10 days, I'll be learning some deep lessons about music at the JazzUp Intensive, connecting with others, and watching shows of all varieties. Tomorrow's the first day of the intensive, but we still have one more set to see at the Roman Theater.
Very beautiful castle that we were checking out, but now it's lit up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 synths. Okay, we have a drum set, a percussion setup, 8 synths, and 1 guitar. Pre-show thoughts. Yeah, I don't know if all these synths are analog or digital or why they have so many of them.
That's another thing. How do you pronounce it?
Debut.
Oh, the French, right?
Debut. I don't know. I think I'm gonna like it. I just don't know why I'm gonna like it. Or I think I might dislike it, but I also don't know why.
Not gonna like it.
Ezra's not gonna like it. Debbie Downer. That's definitely not foreshadowing for us getting drenched. There's rain, there's lightning, but we're not moving.
And there's the blue.
There's Dub, however you say their name. Something is about to happen. Oh, they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing.
Yeah, this was absolutely one of our favorite shows. We were not expecting to see something like this at a jazz festival, but it was really great. Deboul is king, and that's all I have to say about that.
All right, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're about to head in there. I'm going to stop filming after this. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night.
I think this is the wrong way. Okay, I'm just checking because I filmed this incorrectly twice now. Okay, amazing. It is 9:07 in the morning here in Vienne. In an hour and a half we have to go do some evaluations, some playing in front of people, and they'll sort us into groups, and because we're eventually going to play on Monday the 7th. We really enjoyed the show last night. Let's see, what did I say the last 2 times I recorded this? There were a lot of fans that showed up for that second band, which was a lot of fun. Did a lot of great stuff with stagecraft, but also we're great musicians, and I love to see bands that do that. So probably later I'll remember the other things I said while filming this the other 2 times before. So I'm gonna find food, find out where I'm going. Yeah. We're kind of in a valley here, the Rhone River Valley. So look at these beautiful houses up on that hill. Putting away the instruments, and then we're gonna drive to the Conservatoire. We essentially make this same exact journey pretty much every single day. We walk it a few times, but pretty much the same journey, past the museum, over this bridge, and into town. So I didn't film literally every time we did it, but yeah, we got the same view with this beautiful castle overlooking the town and the historic center. It's quite nice. It's quite a nice way to start the day. Yep. Entree. Not that kind of entree. Oh, get ready, Ezra. How many times have we done this? All right. So for now we're just waiting. Thank goodness for SKB cases, hard shell cases. Good shot of the master at work.
Yes.
folks, just did sit up for 2 tunes. Both of them were in different keys than I expected because we were playing with singers. Playing tunes, playing jazz standards, which have lots of chords, in a different key than you're used to is difficult. Already learning what I need to work on, playing songs in different keys. Doesn't matter if you've never played before. It's like trying to do math, but the numbers mean different things. Does that make sense? All right, we're leaving Conservatoire Vienne, and we're heading to lunch. Le Façonnier. It's 93 degrees today, so we're gonna take it slow. But the orientation and the evaluation, I think, was okay. You know, a little bit of folding, a little bit of playing well. We had a little bit of fun, or I had fun. When we come back from lunch, we'll be in groups and we'll be starting to play. So we'll see you then. Okay, so check it out. These buildings are called Swing Saxo Aretha, and of course the best building. I think we're going right there. All right, we left La Façonnier. La Façonnier? Yeah, the cafeteria where we had lunch. See, I wanted salmon. She did not let. She was not having that. She wanted me to take something else. So, okay, should we walk somewhere? Should we walk to the river, the Rhône? We don't know exactly where we're gonna go. Or we're gonna see something. Oh, we've already seen something. We've seen a rock, which is very beautifully painted. We've seen another rock that's painted with a gecko or a lizard. This is really engaging stuff, isn't here? You think anyone's gonna watch this video once I edit it and put it together?
Yeah.
Okay. It would have been funny if you said no. Oh la la. There is a highway here, but still, I mean, come on, look at this. Beautiful turquoise water. I mean, I don't think the video is doing it justice. Yeah, we were talking about auditions. It brings out the worst. It's hard. It's really hard. I don't think Ezra wants to talk about it anymore. Anyway, the rest of today hopefully will go better. Hello, we're taking a small break. This is the room we've been rehearsing with. I am in a group being led by saxophonist Alex Terrier. Yeah, he's fantastic. We were playing footprints, but metric modulation, changing subdivisions, which was a lot of fun and difficult, and made me realize some songs, it's like, you know them, but do you really know them? Can't get over that. I mean, imagine going to school. This is a school. And this is your view. I would not be able to focus for a moment if this was my view out of the window. So it was very hard to film anything but my face, myself, with this angle without kind of disrupting the privacy of the classroom, ensemble, bandstand type setting. But we had the similar structure. We're working on this arrangement of Footprints by Terence Blanchard, and we just kind of kept developing it, changing it up. It was a very natural, free-flowing progression from learning the bass line, the main motif of the tune, and then make our own version out of it. Yeah, the ensembles follow a typical structure. What's special about it is the individual and focused instruction. It's nothing special to watch, but hopefully the result, which you'll get to hear at the end of this series when we play, is something really special. Yeah. just finished up the ensemble portion of the day. A lot of things to think about. Now we have a lecture. So I don't know if I'm gonna film any of that, but I will record a little bit of it. Okay, we're leaving the masterclass. It was extremely enlightening, but I'm like drop dead hungry, so I'm not gonna talk about it now. I'm going to get dinner, and then we're gonna go to the show at Le Théâtre Antique. All right, I had to go back to the boarding school, but just to show you, this is last night. This is where we walked. Up there is the Rhone River. Let's see if I'm pointing the right way. Yeah, just past that big building with the glass windows, which is the Musée des Romains, which I think is like the French Roman Museum. And way off in the distance also is the amphitheater. So that's where we were last night. And well, I still have to eat, and then we'll go there. Check out that church. That is still, it's just off the top of that hill. I don't know if you could tell last night, but it was thundering and lightning striking. I so thought we were gonna get struck by lightning, but it turns out there was a whole nother building up there at the top of the hill. So that fear was irrational. It doesn't do anything when you go back through it. Okay, we're headed back up to Théâtre Antique for Dee Dee Bridgewater. It's 9 p.m. So supposedly the show started half an hour ago. Most of our group hasn't headed up, so I guess she's not on yet. Every person that has played here on this board. Crazy. Just find everybody on here, even in 1 year. Like, look at this. But you probably already knew that. You clicked on this video. If you're watching this video, you probably already knew that. Or maybe you didn't know that. So I think we're sitting on lower, and it's a little tunnel. The opening act for Dee Dee Bridgewater was the Jamaican pianist Monty Alexander, and I have to say, over the course of reviewing the footage, their set really grew on me. Just super great vibes, really interesting arrangements, and I mean, just paired with this beautiful view, it was just a super great experience at the end of kind of a stressful and long day. So something that really stuck with me is that even though this concert was going kind of late, people stuck around. Even though there's a limit to how late trains will leave Vienne for the Lyon train stations, there are extra shuttles, extra buses, so people can still get home.
Crowd. Maximum fun for emotionless crowd. Maximum fun. Nobody getting up. Oh wait, somebody dancing in the aisle. No, that's... This looks like it's just like a Roman temple in the middle of town. Shit, this sign says Wolfpack.
And that is because they played JazzUp Vienne in 2014, or 2014. Both played JazzUp Vienne 2024. So I'm a year too late, unfortunately. 12:27. I think I've lost my Duolingo streak for sure. I'm probably gonna stop filming after this. Just gonna walk home. Walk to the lycée. Wake up early. New schedule. I'm doing like private, sort of one-on-one, not one-on-one, but instrument-specific lessons. Man, I'm getting tired. That's why I'm messing up so much. I'll see you then. Okay. Camera's pointing the right way, I think. Good morning. It's 9:23, and it is Wednesday, July 2nd. Yesterday I was sitting in front of a bush. We're that way, but today I'm sitting right next to where we're gonna get picked up to go to the conservatory in about 5 minutes. And today I think we're gonna be doing some instrument-related lessons, but that's gonna be interesting. But even more interesting is that it's gonna be 98 degrees. We have another talk today with Ashley Kahn, the great author, in fact, is who inspired Ezra and I to come to Vienne in the first place. We were talking about Art Blakey and the drums. We actually talked a lot about drumming yesterday with Rabbi Abu Khalil. I'll probably transcribe what he was saying and probably talk about it more in voiceover because I'm forgetting exactly what he was saying, but he was kind of bringing a link between all art forms of how all art forms play with tension and release, and how all rhythmic tension and release in music actually comes down to the difference between the number 3 and the number 2. It's very simple, so we'll talk more about that later. Just to show you, I'm not kidding. They named the school after Ella. This town just loves jazz. All the studios are named after different folks, and there's also dance studios. So Alvin Ailey on there. So here's the interior of the Vienne Conservatory, which actually includes a multimedia library, a mediathèque, CDs, and normal print books and other kinds of print publications, and then some dance and music studios on both floors, really, and this nice seating area. So we're about to go into instrumental specific lessons. As a guitarist, I was paired with the pianist, and we were going to talk about things like harmony and such related topics. Okay, then here, G flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hello. About 5:16 in the afternoon. It's like 98 degrees, but it's a really beautiful sunny day. So, yeah, I have not been recording that much because a lot has been happening, and I'm still kind of sorting through it. So I think I'm gonna go take a walk, find a nice park or something, see if I can talk through it, or at least tell you, what even happened. I can't say that we did group lessons. We had to talk about Art Blakey and drumming, and also about his artistry, emotions he creates while he's playing, the emotions that jazz and specifically hard bop creates. And we also had I didn't record because we were in the same ensemble room, similar rooms. It would kind of look boring, but we played some different songs. We're working on a few different songs now, and I find it really interesting and really refreshing that here we will work on a standard in a very typical way, and then after we've gotten it kind of the typical way, then start to explore different avenues and not just stick with like, all right, well, let's just play this song the typical way. So I'm enjoying that. Before I say any more, let's go see what's around, because I've got about 2 hours of break before we eat dinner and have a jam session. So let's walk around a bit. I think this part of town is a little newer. And right now I'm walking towards the older part of town that has all the festival stuff, but this part of town looks a little newer. It's quite nice. One thing to note is that the sidewalks are very tiny here. In some parts there's only walking. It's a pedestrian-only zone, and it's lovely. There's some very tiny sidewalks here, so if you're carrying lots of gear while you're here, beware of that. Okay, I'm currently sitting in Vienne's Jardin de Ville. Yeah, we're right by the water. Still not any cooler. We're also right by the tourism office, which has the JazzUp Vienne mural. I kind of want to go jump in that fountain or in the river. All right, I think we made it to the walkable part of town. Check that out. Check that out. Wow. I want you to look at this. This is ridiculous. It's so hot. I'm standing right above, right above where Jardin de Cibel is. It's gonna give me a second. Oh, I just realized how long this festival is. I find it just remarkable that there are probably even longer festivals. The fact that some, music is a team sport, but it's also an endurance sport. If you want to stretch that analogy further, it's a mental endurance sport because every day is a different day. You're not going to sound or perform at the same level, especially with tasks that are sort of non-creative, like reading, notation, sight reading, stuff like that. Today, especially in the talks, it was a lot of trying to answer some, not really deep questions, but answering some difficult questions. Things that have nothing to do with theory and nothing to do with how, but a lot of why and what do you feel and what do you think about it. Okay, so believe it or not, this is where the jam is. So you can suck it, Smalls, and like every other place ever. Come on. Look at this. Look at this, my friends. Of course, we got the master artwork. Yeah, I don't think I can ever play at Ornithology Jazz Club or Smalls ever again after this. Hey, he's having fun. That's what we like to see. You probably wouldn't like that I'm taking this video. We have jammed, and I think Ezra got video, if you haven't already seen it. But it's gonna be night soon. If anything else interesting happens, I'll film something, but I think it might be good night and see you tomorrow. I'm gonna try and film more and show a little bit more. Talk less, show a little bit more what's going on. And so another day in Vienne comes to a close. Not before we saw this kind of ridiculous projection thing that was going on at the Hotel de Ville, which is what they call the town halls, which was, this is a unique event in our trip, so enjoy it. Next time, we'll be continuing the JazzUp Intensive and getting close to the final concert. See you then. Oh, see, the sax is on the front, but it's not. And I feel like sometimes school, all kinds of school, forces you to forget about that, to block it. So being asked about that, it takes a little bit to remember and be confident saying what it is you think or what it is you feel. This morning we had a group lesson with Brandon McClure. He's fantastic. But the thing that the words that keep ringing in my head is, paraphrasing, that everything is a choice, and you just have to kind of accept other people's choices, make your own, try and tailor your choices to what other people are doing, and that's really how we talk and interact. That's how we make stuff. And he said, yeah, no, it's never, don't just play something automatic. It's like, not like, you know, in a conversation, you don't just say, I don't care what you say, I'm just gonna say whatever. And that really resonated with me. It's so simple, and I think about that, you know, all the time. It seems so obvious, but everything we do are just choices. Not inherently right or wrong, and maybe in life there are some right and wrong choices, but when you're making something, you know, creative, when you're focusing on a creative pursuit, there's no right or wrong, there's just choices. I think my choice right now is I'm going to switch the filming spot so it doesn't get too boring. It's shady here, which is nice. What was I talking about? Yeah, a lot of stuff to grapple with, and I would say that my impression the first 2 days is that I'm learning more. I'm learning less about, you know, theory and less about, oh, do this thing and do that thing. I'm learning less new things there and more about, don't you see how simple this all is? That it's all way simpler than, it's like you're still in a classroom here, but it's maybe just the teaching style or the different, you know, kind of new environment here, or just maybe it's only hitting me now, but don't you see how simple it is, that it's not more complicated than it has to, and that I have a problem that it's like, well, if it's so simple, you know, why don't I already know how to do everything? And that's like, because you don't know how to do it. It's so obvious. So just learning about my own limits and learning just to live with that. At the same time, we talked about Art Blakey today and his kind of message, which I really really enjoyed. But there were also some points being made about how seriously he took everything, and how maybe some implication that he was, you know, always making sure that everyone was, you know, playing he saw as the right things. And you know, music has a history of all kinds of people kind of being taskmasters, being very strict, and sometimes it's like that. Sorry, there's someone driving by. It makes you feel like you have to know everything already. But that's just what it is to be a young human being who doesn't know, or that's what it is to be a human being in general, period. Trying to be an artist who, you know, supposedly is supposed to be saying something really and contributing something, and also being a student where it's like, did you do that right? And, you know, do the assignment right? And, oh shoot, I messed that up. And like, oh crap. Figuring that out, you know, playing with the conviction of someone like, you know, an Art Blakey with such intensity, but also, you know, realizing that you have limits, of course, and you're just testing them. Holding those two things in your head is, and the third thing, that it's really not that hard, but it is kind of difficult, and it'll take you a lifetime. It's tricky. Yeah.